But our next guest on the Sports Daily had a very good day there at Ascot on Saturday. William Pike joins us. Willie, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Very well, Will. Great to have a chat to you. Thanks for your time. Was it relief or was it joy after watching me rock booked his berth in the Railway Stakes with that win on Saturday?
No, definitely joy. Obviously, he was quite unlucky the first up, and it was joy. Getting through and getting the job done. It was good.
What sort of run did you get in the race?
I had a pretty nice run, but it did get sort of squishy around the bend when we compacted a bit. We had to let down pretty hard for sort of 50 metres rounding the bend. We really had to scamper to hold our position. And then after that, it was pretty good. It panned out really well. Come through and we're able to peel out to the clear. And he's not used to daylight after first up. He got it on the weekend.
Did you go into that race on the weekend, Will, mindful that you didn't want to be snagged away down low, which it looked like you perhaps could have been?
No, normally I would, on the top right, I'd always find the fence even when I probably shouldn't. So, no, I'm all right. I always try to win the race in the second half, not the first half. It's normally served me well, so not really. I was okay with it.
What sort of improvement did you feel the horse made from first up to second up? And then also, do you think there's still some improvement going towards the Railway?
I don't know if he necessarily improved or not. I don't know what was under the hood. I never got to let him go. But look, I think just in general, his maturity, the ability's always been there. We've always been looking forward to when he matured, and the maturity's there. He's handling himself well in the mounting yard, behind the barriers. He's handling himself well. So, the ability is, as I said, has always been there. Just the maturity's coming with it, and at the right time too.
Okay, so you factor in the horse's strike rate, which we know is outstanding, your record in the race and your standing in the game clearly at a ridiculously high level. Grant Milana, grand final trainers. Does he profile like an animal that can deliver you another Railway Stakes?
Yeah, definitely. Suppose it remains to be seen how many points and whether he gets in off the minimum now after winning that race, which is, it's always generally been a low, you want to be in the low weight range to win the race. That's where most of my success has been, and it's a recipe that's worked. So it depends on who's nominated, who's going there.
Yep.
But I like him. He definitely profiles well for the race. He's versatile. He could probably sit a couple of pairs further back and still finish well. But at the same time, if he draws a pie alley again, there's no reason why he can't box seat. So I like the way he profiles for the race.
You touched on a little bit earlier how much of an opinion you've had of the horse from an early age with him. Has he always been to this level, do you think, or the maturity that you mentioned while he's come along in his racing career, he's just lifted to this Railway Stakes level?
This is always where we'd hope we'd be, but no one ever, I think, walked out and earmarked him as going to go try and win a Railway all that early. But the whole way through his career, he's always just kept taking every step, and whilst taking the next step, always felt like he had another step to take. And so not surprised to be a live chance in the Railway and other races, but I don't think he was an out-of-the-box where everyone was doing backflips and cartwheels saying we've got one.
Will, were you impressed by the return of Oscar's Fortune?
Yeah, I was. I thought he'd be quite well because there's very much a lot of unknown what we're going to get. I thought he did really well, and obviously behind probably one of the jokers is probably the best horse in the state at the moment, I'd say. He's still on the up, and I know we didn't exactly scare him, but I feel like if I could have got through a little bit earlier with a little more momentum, I might have just scared him a little.
How was that race run? Because I know you ended up on the back of the leader.
I was happy to take the shit on Snowdome. I thought he'd get me right into the straight, but it didn't quite pan out that way. Oscars can travel quite strong, so I got a nice run. I was in the box seat, but I just didn't get to transition into the straight very well. We probably didn't have a lot of momentum, but I dare say Jokers was probably winning anyway, but I would have just liked to have flowed into the straight a bit more to see if he could run right through the line and see what was really there.
Did you expect to see more from Elite Beau in the Placid Arc Prelude on Saturday, Willie?
Yeah, I did, but that was also partly my fault. I thought there was going to be a lot more pressure in the race, so I gave him a bit of a rub early and fired him up. It was, I really got that one wrong. I thought there was going to be a lot more pressure. Gave him a rub and he got on the bridle. I didn't know he was capable of getting on the bridle that hard, so I wouldn't be waking him up again out of the barriers.
Do you think he can still win a Placid Arc?
Yeah, I know he's better. I definitely know he's better than that. But look, it's just the pressure of those races is a lot, and just being a colt and things like that.
Yep.
I would love to. I think now that that's happened, it's the perfect time to go right. Come back here, sit midfield, and I would not be surprised to see him have that real good turn of foot again.
Okay, so it's a good little push there for Elite Beau, who ran 6th of 14 behind Luana Miss in the Placid Arc Prelude. Now, Will, you linked up with Fun Chow again on Saturday. She just missed over the 1800. That followed a luckless first up run. Do you feel she's on track for where Grant and Alana are aiming her at?
Yeah, I think so. It was a nice progressive run. Second up 18, and just had to scout a little wide and sustain a run, which I think will be okay for her, but maybe like the second up 18 just caught me on the line, especially with Odinakana having such a soft run. But it was a good run. I don't think she couldn't do any more. Just the race didn't quite unfold well enough for us to win, but she's ticking along nicely.
All right. Moonwalk your ride tomorrow in the Burgess Queen. I'm not too sure how much work you've done on the race just at this stage, but what do you make of this filly's chances?
Yeah, I've kept my form true. I haven't looked at the race at all. That's a tomorrow problem. Yep. I've got to survive trials yet, so it's never a given these days. But look, she'll run well. I didn't have a lot of luck. I was strung up in behind them. Without even looking at the race, I know she'll run well. There's not a problem there. It's just what sort of run I'll get, and I'm not worried about it. She'll run well.
Is she a filly who will step out to the mile and flourish, do you think, Will?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she will. Definitely. She's that type, she's that build, and she's even that nature. She's got a calm head on her shoulders. I'd be surprised if she couldn't step out to a mile and go even better.
All right, fingers crossed that is the case. Thank you very much for your time, Willie. All the best tomorrow there at Ascot and then going forward with Watch Me Rock as well. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no worries, guys. See you later.
There's William Pike, so very, very happy with the performance, as you would be, of Watch Me Rock there on Saturday at Ascot.
Good to see him go there and make amends. And when I say make amends, he was luckless first up, that we know. I thought it was a great ride by Willie. He was able to get him off the fence. As he said, he likes to, do the bulk of his winning rides in the back half of them, save ground early, make ground late. That we know works really well for Will, but he got him into that moving line. He whether he thought Cosmic Crusader would be in the breeze, I don't think anyone thought he would land there. After being a little bit slow to step, I think people thought he would jump, find the top, but he was following the right horse and/or horses, Willie, wasn't he? Because you had Cosmic Crusader outside Love and War, and then you had September Born, and he had the back of those two horses, and when he pressed the button, he accelerated. It was a very, very impressive win by a nice horse. It's
been the topic of a little bit of conversation. Rope them in, 1,200 metres, 1,600 metres. Which way do they go? Carried 61 kilos in an Asian Beau and was the run of the race. Gave Cosmic Crusader, who's a favourite for the railway, 7 kilos and beat him home.
Yeah.
What do we do now with Rope Them In?
I think it's a no-brainer, personally. I think he's a short course horse. I really do. I think he's a 1,200-metre horse. Now, that's 14. Steve and Connections and Sean, they'll work through that. I just think he profiles like a off-speed sprinter, personally. Has done for a long time, I reckon. Has done for a long time.
Can he win a Winterbottom?
Absolutely he can. Absolutely he can. Like, he is a similar sort of horse to Joker's Grin, is he not? That off-speed sprinting proposition. You only have to go back to 12 months ago. He was matching motors with some good ones. He lost his way in the autumn. That's okay. Came back, trialled up particularly well in the lead up to that first up run, went super, and then he's carried a big weight, 61.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought Steve then maybe elects to give him a trial, keep him fresh, and then go to the Winterbottom.
All right.
Do you have a differing view?
No, I think it would have just made the waters a little bit muddier.
Yeah.
And to be fair, now on the back of that, if Steve Wolf, and we've spoken to him, and he's pretty confident the horse is going to run a good 1,600 metres, and if that is the case, it looks like the railway might be winnable for him if he's carried 61 there and been right on the heels of a Watch Me Rock and Cosmic Crusader, and you're going to obviously make those horses a little bit better at the weights. Now he's going to be towards the top of the weights in a railway, but he's not going to be carrying 61.
Hasn't won beyond 1,400.
No. How many times has he been beyond 1,400?
I do not know. He's been a couple. He ran around in the Guineas.
Mm.
Look, he's now a 5-year-old. He's had 22 starts.
I would just say, muddying the waters a little bit, the railway would look a little bit more of a winnable race. Put it that way.
Yeah.
As opposed to, we've spoken about the Winterbottom the last couple of weeks with the East Coasters coming over.
Yep.
At this stage.
Yep.
They might not make it.
No.
And then what we saw from Joker's Grin on the weekend as well.
Okay, well, let's get to that Joker's Grin performance then.
Well, before, because we spoke about it earlier, and it was a lot of discussion, and was a lot of discussion on Racing Rewind yesterday. Cosmic Crusader and Love and War.
Yeah.
The tactics there was, I suppose they were questioned, but we spoke about the race on Thursday, and I think we nominated Love and War. Looked like one of the horses that was drawn a little bit sticky that they could push forward on. That's what happened.
I thought it was a no-brainer that she would go forward, Love and War, to be fair. There was no... Look, the fact that she found the top surprised me a little, but the fact that she was prominent in the run, absolutely no shock. I thought it was as sure as night follows day that she would land first 4.
Yep, I was with you. Probably more of a shock was that Clint Johnson Porter didn't push on and find the rain.
Yeah, well, I think that's the interesting aspect of it.
And we don't know what happened pre-race and what was spoken about, and whether or not they didn't want to lead on Cosmic Crusader. We're not too sure, but
no,
he wasn't able to find the rail, and even coming into about the 300 metre mark, I still thought he was about to explode and kick away from them.
Yeah.
He probably just wasn't at his best as well.
I don't think he didn't look like he got a clean break either.
No.
He just on the back foot or slipped. I'm not entirely sure, but he didn't leave the machines like he has done previously. And from there, you had Love and War nice and fresh, jumping and running and assuming a position at the front of the field. And then Cosmic Crusader, because he didn't step, it was like, oh, right, okay. And then Clint had a decision to make. Do you grab hold in a race which didn't appear to have a lot of tempo, or do you let the horse slide after maybe giving him a bit of a rub? And then he found his position there, and then when he got there and he had probably 3/4 on the stablemate, you just thought he would press on and hit the fence, but that didn't occur.
No, travelled quite strong as well.
Yep.
Race number 6 on the program was the Prince of Wales, Joker's Grin. Didn't have too much luck in run, but probably Joker's Grin, the horse he is. If he's 3 wide, no cover, that's probably perfect for him with his stride length and the way he goes. And probably going forward, the top 3 to run top 3 were good, looking towards a Winterbottom, and our feature sprints. Joker's Grin defeating Oscar's Fortune and Repossession was a nice run. Just was probably a little bit further back in that field than maybe we'd first anticipated, but I'm sure Chris and Michael Gangemi would have given that horse a tick on the back of that performance.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy run race, wasn't it? I think we all thought perhaps there'd be a little bit more tempo in this race than what there was, and it looked like Jokers was going to slot in, and then before you know it, Pat said, no, I'll go get you in some clear air. It's 1,000 metres. Yep. Let's let you go through your gears, and that he did. He ran 10.84 for his last 200, 21.88 for his final 400 metres, Jokers. Now, this was a slower 1,000-metre race than what Desert Whisper ran soon after. So, and that was a terrific return by that mare. We know that she was able to do it at both ends, but the best part, I thought, of Joker's Grin's return on the weekend was his final 75 metres. He was shaken up a bit, but he responded, and then you could see him starting to extend. So,
final 200 for Repossession. Do you have that there?
The final 200 for Repossession, yes, 10.85. The issue with that is I think, with repossession is how does he turn the tables or take down a Jokers and these really, really good ones over 1,200 at weight for age. I think if there's a nag on him, it's perhaps at this stage of his career a strong 1,200. And that's not a crime.
So from Saturday, we're thinking in a Winterbottom, we're going to see Joker's Grin, Oscar's Fortune, Repossession and Rope Them In at this stage, if he goes that way.
Yep. I'd agree.
Is Repossession the fourth seed of those four?
Rope Them In, Jokers. Who was the other one you said? Oscars. Yes, I think. Oscars surprised me.
Yep.
Oscars surprised me. No trial to do what he did. I thought it was a really good effort.
Stretch out to 1,600 metres in Melbourne.
Yeah, but, back, familiar surrounds. Dion knows the horse. Are we ever going to see the best of him? Don't know. I'll tell you what, it was an encouraging return, though. Yeah. And repossession was good. Repossession was good. No knock. He was good, but there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, you're in the elite company.
Yeah, you are. You're up against the big boys.
Absolutely. All right, the Placid Arc Prelude. What did we learn? Are we thinking Luana Miss goes into the Placid Arc as the favourite now? Probably depending on the draw. Maybe the draw might not matter because we've seen what she's able to do 3 wide with cover there and let down with an electric turn of foot.
Yeah. Interesting what Willie had to say about Elite Beau. He said, no, that's on me. Just gave him a rub. He was a bit soft in the market just prior to they jumped. He jumped around mid-threes, I think, didn't he? Elite Beau?
Yes, $3.60.
$3.60. He was $2.40, $2.50, and then he just got out and out and out. And
yes, Queen got a lot of support. Started at $4.40.
Yeah. Oh, Luana Miss, like the first run, terrific, wasn't it? Really good. And who did she run behind? Talk & Co.
Mm-hmm.
So Talk & Co. comes out of that race. So when I say comes out of that race, is removed from the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to be very competitive in that race on the weekend. But what she did do, she powered to the line. She had a beautiful flow in. She was really strong at the back end of this race. Again, talking of the splits that she ran, clearly the fastest last 200, 11.26. She ran 22.44 for the final 400 metres. Again, the fastest of the race. So she did everything that she needed to. 34.01 her last 600. It was a really all-round good display by a very, very talented filly. She is a black type performer, that we know. That's not a black type race, but she was a very good juvenile. She's come back in excellent order. Twisted Steel was better. I reckon they have a decision to make with Twisted Steel next start, whether you say, you know what, you want to run, within reason, we'll let you run. We might say, you want your head? Okay. If he draws low, find the fence, ride him aggressive, and see where he finishes at the end of 12.
Or drawing wide and letting him just muster and build into the race might not be the worst thing.
No, exactly. He's an on-speed horse. A lot of Simons are, but I thought the return was good. Castle Road was good.
Yep.
Yeah, really good.
On paper, there did look to be a lot more pressure than what, Baby Pearl's half miss a kick, so then that's where some of the pressure you thought would come from out wide, and obviously sort of loves talking, does like to go forward. Philomea, Swingman, obviously first up off a little bit of a break. They've obviously aired to go back and maybe not save him, but not give him an absolute gutbuster heading into a grand final. So it probably did work out nicely for those on paces from that point of view. But Castle Road, we know up to the 1,200 metres when he can really roll along, that seems to be the best of him.
Yeah, I'll tell you one that hasn't had a lot of good luck at 2 runs to date and was there on the quick spin, ran 5th, Don't Declare. I think he's going okay. Now, the intention is to get into a Placid Arc, whether he has enough prize money. I'm not sure. He's still a maiden. He ran 2nd of 12 at Northern behind She's Capitana, was beaten just under a length and didn't see daylight until the last 50. And there on the weekend, again, was just strung up inside horses and couldn't build into the race, yet ran 5th, not far off 3rd at $51. Not the worst. And I think wherever the connections and Simon elect to go with Don't Declare, I'll be following.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they go, if they can get to the Placid Arc, but gee whiz.
Yeah, might have to maybe get a win, and then I'm not sure if the horse is going to stretch out to 1,400 metres, but there's that Sir Ernest Listera for the 3-year-olds over the 1,400, maybe later on in the carnival now.
Yeah.
First racing preparation, that might be a little bit too far away, but a race like that might suit.
Yeah, so, and a shout out to Indiana Wynett too. the return of Smooth Chino. That's a terrific training performance as well. The trial was super, really good. And to do what he did, he's now 4 for 4. He's a very, very nice horse. He's a proper horse. Yep. That's a great win.
Not sure what they do with him if he's able to find his way into some...
Well, he was nominated for the Prince of Wales. So whether Indiana says, you know what, I'll have a throw at the stumps in a Colonel Reeves. If he gets a run, I don't know. But clearly, he'd been going well behind the scenes.
You'd think he'd get a run. The sprinting ranks at the moment at that sort of level.
Perhaps.
It's small fields, and they have been for a little while now.